Hi, my name is Kate, and today I'm going to talk you through how I use Storify for learning. Storify is a social media platform that's commonly used within the news environment, but is increasingly used by universities and teaching to deliver content and tell or facilitate storytelling. So I use it in a number of different ways. The first way that I've started to use that I think has changed my practice is in actually course delivery, whereby I used to have links or for particularly websites embedded in my study guide lessons, and they were the problematic things that needed updating. I now actually have taken those out of my study guide lessons and have actually created Storify pages, which I'll demonstrate very shortly, so that my study guide lessons are really devoted to narration around key concepts and textbook readings. Student assessment, I assess students using Storify, and that is because my courses are journalism and writing courses. So Storify allows me to test their information literacy and their narration skills, because they have to pull together a whole range of sources and then provide narration around those sources, web-based sources that is. So just flagging that one of the issues that I have actually encountered is browser sensitivity. It's sensitive to Chrome and Internet Explorer, but it works well on Firefox. So that's a common issue with a lot of social media platforms generally. So that's something to just consider. So what I'll do is I will actually show you my Storify. So this is an example of my Storify page, and how I actually embed it, I'll show you first. This is an example of my course website, and so it's obviously assignment day and everybody is uploading. This is an example of a week block. And here I have my study guides, blog activities, and then my support materials. And this link here, media writing, captions as news stories, is actually my narrated Storify. So if I click on that, it will take you to this Storify page. And this particular Storify I did up was related to photo captions so that it could support a week of support materials for journalism. And fantastically, there was a great example here where Twitter exploded, where I had some Boeings that fell off a train and into a river. And here is a tweet that says 737s emerge from berthing river onto land for the first time, their wings useless in underwater habitats yet to mature. So this was a great example for me to actually use and comment on for my students, because it demonstrates the impact of captions on understanding of visual media. So I was then able to actually commentate. So I've imported the tweet. I've then said, well, the real story was more boring, and then I've created a link to a real story, which was an online media story. And then I actually am able to link further all these great pieces online about writing good captions. So, Kenneth Irby writes a great piece. Alan Murashabi reminds us that great caption writing isn't just relevant for news stories. So I've put a little bit of a summary about those links and their relevance to the particular course materials. And as you can see, I've scrolled right down. There are quite a lot of links there to read. So that has actually worked really well, and it's had 218 total views. So if I then want to update this, which perhaps something might happen tomorrow, and there's a really great example, it then becomes quite easy to update. So we have two columns in Storify. So this is your narrated column, and this is the areas of media that I've selected that I want to get stuff from. So SoundCloud, I can link to other Storify, I can actually link to other tweets, Facebooks, GIFs, and so on. And all you needed to do, for example, if I wanted to tweet, is I actually just click on that, and then I can actually tweet either a hashtag, so just hashtag profcom, for example. I won't do it because this is a live example, but here you can actually see the tweets, and then you just drag them into your story, literally. And this is a movable tweet that I have literally just dragged from here into this side. And in between these elements, this is actually a link. So if I've actually got a link that I've found, then I can actually embed the URL and again drag it across to this side, and then I actually create, you just click to add text and I can add more text. Add more text here. And so on. So it allows me to actually update very easily, and I will then just actually get rid of that. So you can actually move these pieces around and so on. So, and I'll move that back there because this, as I say, is a live link. And then you can just save now, and then you can publish, and when you publish it's actually a live view. So I'm happy to provide more comment for those who are interested in using this on a one-on-one basis. What I've done is create a professional account on Twitter and Storify, so I log in using Twitter, so my stuff is all integrated. But the great thing for me is it means that I can actually focus on updating links rather than study guides. So it means that rather than just being a series of links hanging off my Moodle site, there is some sense of order to it. So students have reacted very favorably to it, and it means that my site's not a lot less messy. It's extremely easy to use. There's lots of tutorials, and it literally is just drag and drop. So once you get started, you probably find that it's quite an enjoyable experience. So I hope that helps.